Hello. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Today we are checking out how anyone, including you, can read German. Now, this came in because I did a video recently, a couple of days ago, about Felly from Germany, and I was making a distinction of how German and English sound so much alike, and I feel like German would be really easy to learn. And not to my surprise, somebody recommended this video, and I was like, this is perfect. It's exactly what I'm looking for because I kind of want to learn German, and I was thinking about downloading one of those apps like Babbel or something and trying to get into it. But nonetheless, let's hop into this one and see how people, including me and you, can read German. Can we not speak it, only read it? I don't know. Let's figure it out. Oh, by the way, if it's your first time here, my name is Jacob. I'm an American who has fallen in love with everything Europe. Okay, we got that squared away. You know my name. I'm looking at a camera. Let's get started.
This one's for lovers of English as much as lovers of German. German is hard. Learning it means studying an array of...
Hold up. I don't think do I need subtitles? Did it turn subtitles on for me for some reason? Let's go with them off.
Mastering is hard. Learning it means studying an array of rules, mastering 3 grammatical genders, and knowing whether you're using the nominative, accusative, genitive, or dative. But in this video, we're ignoring all of that. I'm going to give you some simple tricks that are going to help your chances of understanding the German words written in front of you, whether they're on a billboard, a menu, or in a movie. By the end, we'll be able to decipher this gibberish to the untrained eye into something that any English speaker will be able to understand. No prior German knowledge required. Even if you don't want to learn German, do keep watching though, because the reasons why these tricks work tell us a lot about our own language. German and English have history. Los geht's. Let's go. So let's go.
Okay, really quick, I'm going to subscribe to this because I need this in my life, and I appreciate this guy making content like this. Very unique. Cool. Let's get started.
Document backup. The key to decoding this is mainly going to lie in swapping letters in and out to make these words look more like...
I'm trying to see if I can figure it out. Oh, he's already doing a little bit for me. Too late. All right, you'll feel like I'm cheating now.
I go into exactly why it's possible and what it's got to do with all of these guys later. But the key point is that English and German are part of the same language family. They share a common ancestor that they both developed from, and by retracing that development you can find consistencies in how they differ. So for example, where English developed a th sound in certain words, German went off in a slightly different direction and ended up with a d sound instead. So where English has 3, German has drei. Where English has thunder, German has Donner. English thing is German ding, and where English has the, German has seemingly endless numbers of words of various genders and cases, all of which basically mean the and begin with D. And while we're here actually, German has du and dein, which are 2 words that have the same ancestry as the age-old English words thou and thine. So there's our first trick. Swapping the D in a German word for TH can very often get you closer to the English equivalent. Now, linguistically speaking, the D sound is very similar to the T sound. The processes in our mouths to produce these sounds are extremely similar. Just a tiny tweak makes a T.
Yeah, I literally just did it in my mouth right there, and I'm like, yeah, D and T. It's like the same movement, but I don't know how we make such a different sound with it. That's crazy.
A D. And that's why you can also often swap a German T sound with TH as well, particularly in the middle or at the end of words like Mutter, which is mother, and Wert, which is worth. This similarity between T and D sounds also opens up another letter swap opportunity, this time between the 2 languages. German T's can often be swapped for English D's. Take a look at these pairs. Dream, daughter, and dear all have German equivalents beginning with T. Tier is actually the German word for animal, but that is precisely what deer originally meant in English.
It really doesn't seem too different. Obviously, if I wanted to learn German, I don't know, what do you guys think? Like 6 months to be able to speak like okay, be able to hold some conversations? I was saying if I put in an hour a day for 6 months, I could probably get by going to Germany and like making do with being able to understand and talk. But for the most part, yeah, deer, tear, not that different.
Decided to make it mean one animal in particular. In fact, the Dutch word for animal is still deer.
Who commented that? Somebody on here commented that said Dutch is also very easy between English and going to Dutch, just like English to German is.
Often provides a satisfying midpoint between German and English, a bit like it does geographically, I suppose. Now back to German, the D-swap works elsewhere in some words too. Check out under and Lieder becoming unter and Leiter. Incidentally, Leiter also means ladder. It's all D's and T's again. Now while we're throwing T's around, that reminds me of another good swap. This time, instead of taking the T's out...
I feel like I'm already going to forget these though. I'm going to have to watch this multiple times.
We're going to slip them in the place of the S
I'm dumb,
sound
you guys.
made by either one or two S's. Check out how neatly German Wasser becomes English water. The German word for what is was, and if you apply two of our tricks to German das, you get its English equivalent, that. And that, incidentally, in Old English, like das does in German, was the neuter version of the. So it works then as well. And another bonus fact, there are actually some German dialects that use that and dat with a T at the end instead of an S, as does our friend from the Low Countries, Dutch.
Sounds like with the W though, instead of a w, it's more of like a vat, like a V sound.
Oh, and let's bring in that most Germanic of characters, this fat, wiggly fellow, the SZ. Although its name literally means SZ or SZ, it actually replaces a double S. So if you see it, sub in a double S, then try swapping it with a T. For example, German Fuss becomes English foot, with a bit of imagination applied to the vowels. Now let's fling some more T's around, because adding a T can also help us solve all of these words. By subbing it in for the ts sound, usually expressed in German with a Z, we can get much closer to the English two, this time the number, and tongue. And there are plenty of others. Right, more of these to come, but I realise it's a lot to take in with all of these consonants flying around. I've become somewhat...
I'm already, like, every time he explains it, I'm like, oh, okay, like, I got that. And then he goes, like, two more, and then I'm like, wait, hold on, what was the TH again?
Incontinent, haven't I? So, let's take a break to understand why these tricks work when they do, which I admit is not 100% of the time, but the hit rate is really good. So earlier I said our translation tricks had something to do with all of these guys. Well, what did I mean?
Yeah, what are those?
Well, what do Rapunzel, Hansel and Gretel, Little Red Riding Hood and others have
Cinderella?
in common? The answer is that they're all fairy tales featured in the collections of Germany's famous brothers Grimm, Wilhelm and Jakob. By the way,
Jakob.
Brother is another word that our tricks work on, because you can just swap the D in the middle of Bruder in German for a TH, and you basically get brother. Anyway, Jakob here is our hero, because as well as working with seinem Bruder to bring together and reimagine European fairy tales, he was also a prolific linguist. So I mentioned earlier how English and German are from the same language family, the Germanic languages. In fact, more specifically, they're both Western Germanic languages. And Jakob Grimm was one of the driving forces behind an ingenious theory about how Germanic languages developed together, known as Grimm's Law. Long, long ago, probably in the first millennium BC, the Germanic languages went through a consonant shift that moved their consonant sounds away from those of Proto-Indo-European. That's the ancient ancestor Germanic languages share with other language families like the Romance languages, the Celtic languages, Slavic languages, and others like Sanskrit, for example. But the language that became modern High German, which is the most widely spoken form of German and the one we're talking about, went through an extra consonant shift that other Germanic languages, like English, did not. That left German with different consonant sounds to English, but those differences are remarkably consistent, and that's why we can often swap them in and out and get from one language to the other. So now you know the theory, let's get on to some more tricks. Another way that English and German...
This is absolutely amazing. I'm like loving this video. Sorry if I'm getting stuck here, not talking too much. You guys are like, we're fine. We want to watch the video. But I'm just like so enthralled with it. I'm like so interested in this. It's fascinating.
From one another is with the sounds p and f. And it means that a lot of f sounds in German written with an f, a double f, or pf, f, can be swapped with a p to get you closer to the English. For example, German Pfeffer is English pepper. Pfeifer is pipe. They're both double whammies. But German auf has the same linguistic root as English up, and German Hoffe is English hope. There are so many of these as well. Schiff and ship.
That's so crazy.
Apple and apple. This one really does work. So remember, when the English P, the German's F. Now the next swap is a piece of cake, or in German, ein Stück Kuchen. You can often sub this CH in a German word for a K and get closer to the this cake, or in German,
I missed it. I was laughing at his joke there.
Kuchen. You can often sub
Kuchen.
this CH in a German word for a K and get closer to the English, like Kuchen and cake. Also, German machen is English make, although it also means do as well. Suchen is related to English seek, and a German Buch is an English book. And again, actually, once you
wait a second
do as well, Suchen is related to English
Suchen?
seek.
So U goes to E.
And a German Buch,
and then
U
goes to O.
Book. And again, actually, once you do these
U goes
swaps,
to O.
you basically get to the Dutch version of these words. Check out machen. So Dutch viewers, do feel free to use these cheats with your own language too. German ich becomes Dutch ik, both of which mean I, and incidentally, Old English for I, as in me, was ich, or something like it. My pronunciation of Old English is always dreadful. Anyway, that's all a Dutch distraction, because I was just going to point out that German words that begin with a K often have an English equivalent beginning with C. Cake is a good example of that one as well. A German Kuh is a cow, Kreuz is a cross, and lots of others are really obvious, like Kultur and culture. You're unlikely to struggle with one.
That's so crazy, that Kultur and culture. Like, I love it. I don't know. I just love the German language so much.
Obvious, like Kultur and culture. You're unlikely to struggle with ones like that. Now, any more for any more? Yes. Hanging out at the end of the alphabet are W and Y, and they hold the key to another couple of handy switcheroos you can do. We're going to try swapping them in for German G's. Let's take the German word Tag. So we already know what to do with the T. We're swapping it for a D, aren't we? Remember dream and daughter? And now let's try, as I just suggested, removing the G and putting in a Y. We end up with day. What's the German for day? It's Tag. Another fascinating historical fact, the Old English word for day was this. Notice anything? It has a G at the end, although it was actually pronounced more like a Y. It was something like die. Again, my Old English is dreadful. Anyway, some more G and Y swaps. German Weg is
dreadful. I never use that term. Dreadful. That's great.
Way. German Sagen
you guys talk
is
so cool.
English say, and if the Y doesn't work, just give a W a go. German Bogen is English bow. Oh, and I've just thought of another good one, actually.
G for
a lot
Y.
of B's in German are V's in English. Take a look at the German words for live, and indeed for liver. Also to give, which is geben, and to stick things together is kleben, which is a relative of English cleave. Cleave is a fascinating word because it can both mean to separate and to put together. Have you ever noticed?
I don't think I've ever in my entire life used the word cleave.
Little doggy. Had enough of these yet? Well, don't make me stop before I get to my triple letter score trick with CHT. German words containing CHT often have a similar English word with GHT instead. I give you light,
Also,
both in the sense of the shiny stuff and the stuff that's easy to lift.
but do you pronounce it lick?
Stuff and the stuff that's easy to lift. I also give you night, eight, and sight, and there are others. Ones to watch out for though. Nicht means not rather than night, and you wouldn't be blamed for thinking a knecht was a knight, but it isn't. A knecht is a servant, but in my defence, the words are related. The English knights saw themselves as servants to their sovereign. Right, or should that be Richt? Actually, a German judge is a Richter, and they oversee the administration of Recht, so I think that one sort of counts. Anyway, right. Those are all the tools you need to be a consonant trickster. So let's put them to the test and bring back this from earlier. And if you hadn't already worked out what this is, it does tell you at
I'm not
the
going to
top.
try it.
Targus
Okay, here we
menu.
got the
Let's work our magic on the T and swap it for a D, and the G
T,
for a Y,
D.
and we get something very close to day's menu. This is a menu of the day's specials.
menu.
So, what's for starters? Cremige Karottensuppe. Well, already we see that we can do another G and Y swap in the first word, and we get much closer to the English word creamy. And then we can swap the K at the start of the next word with a C, although I suspect you'd already worked that one out. This is creamy carrot soup. Und is just German for and if you need any help with the last word, swap the T at the end for a D, and you can work out that that's bread. The next word is
Broad.
a bit tricky. You probably already know what a schnitzel is, a delicious breaded
Yes.
cutlet. But what about the start of the
So
word,
the
though?
K,
Well, swap the K with a C and the B with a V, and you get calves. Does that look like any English word to you?
It's veal. Calves? Yeah. Is that what it is? Yeah, it's veal schnitzel. Veal schnitzel.
Calves. Kalb is the German for veal, the meat of a young cow. A calf.
I'm doing it, you guys. I'm doing it. I just took calves to veal.
Mit is just the German for with, and we came across Pfeffer earlier. It's our double whammy P swap, giving us
pepper.
pepper. And sauce is conveniently the English spelling. There is a German word for sauce that is extremely similar, but the English, or rather French spelling, is also used. Onto our dessert. It's apple cake. The PF again swapped for a P gives us an apple, then swapping the K for a C and the CH for a K gets us close enough to cake to work it out, like we did earlier
Kuchen.
on. And then finally to the drink, you
I
actually
probably
have a
pronounced it
choice
wrong.
of coffee or water. If we swap the K for a C and that double S for a T, although I'm sure the waiter will let you have both if you ask nicely enough. So that's the full menu, and there we have it. What I've basically given you there is a lesson on Germanic consonant shift, dressed up as some top tips for translating German, but they really do work a lot of the time.
All right. I subscribed already, guys. Go check them out. Really good stuff there. I don't want to react to too many of these outside of having the camera on for you guys, but this is like a channel that I might just watch in my own time when I'm relaxing and indulging in some YouTube like we all do. All right. Appreciate you guys watching. I'll see you in the next one. If you enjoyed the video, hit the like button on the way out. Peace out. Bye.